Hello and welcome back to Learn with Liberals Audio. You can still subscribe in the normal way by hitting the link on the right hand side down below, and you can like and share the page to all your friends and family. Today I'm going to be showing you how to fill cake tins, which I'm filling with my chiffon sponge, which I do with lime and soft brown sugar. I've already lined the base of the tins, but that's all you do with chiffon, so it can cling to the sides and rise up nicely. These tins, I don't have any soaked baking belts on, which I usually have because the chiffon sort of fluffs up quite a lot, and then it collapses again and should settle quite nicely. With this one I'm using individual tins. Usually I use whole tins and then I slice the cake. I measure it and then I slice it individually. People either use sandwich tins or they use the whole tins. It's really up to you, it doesn't really matter. This is much quicker, and it's much better with the chiffon cake because the chiffon cake is so light and fragile and it just collapses. So these ones are great and they're really good for when I'm testing stuff out because I can just do all my cakes as a 6-inch test, and it's really quick and I can just sort of get going with what I need to do. So you'll see to my left are some white chocolate calais, which are Caliber white chocolate. I use them for pretty much everything because I buy three packages of chocolate in a bundle, which I get from Amazon because they're really affordable. And then I have a few other types of chocolate that I use, which I won't go into now, but this is kind of what I use for most stuff that isn't, too technical, which everyone can get quite easily too. So what I use to put the paper on is greaseproof spray or oil spray. I don't use butter because it's expensive. You can brush with oil too, but it's easier with spray, I find. So here I'm just using a ladle to ladle out the mixture. I'm doing it by eye. If you were at work, for instance, it would be much easier to weigh it and then you just do the same weight each time, but I'm kind of quite used to looking at stuff and doing it by eye. So you can see from the mix that it is really nice and full of volume, and it's kind of moving by itself. And I'm just going to go around each one doing a ladle and getting it as even as possible, really. So after just tapping the base, that gets out any sort of air bubbles that could get created in the sponge when it's cooking. I'm just going to go around again and put a bit more in because they want to be even, and we want to make sure that we've got sponges which are pretty much the same size as the pans we're cooking them in, so they're 2 centimeters each. Now I'm going around and I'm just putting roughly the same amount of white chocolate chips in. This is really nice because when they cook they don't really melt down, they just sort of caramelize in there, and most chefs or whatever will know about caramelizing white chocolate, and it's really nice. So it just kind of does it itself in here really, and the chips also don't sink into the batter, they just sort of stay on the surface, so you get lots of nice crunchy bits in between each of your layers in the cake. So that's kind of it really. I've just put the same amount in and then I'm going to put them in the oven and they're good to go. So hope you enjoy my new short audio videos, and as always hit to subscribe to support small business.